Coming up on First at 4, the latest on this morning's mass shooting at a bank in downtown Louisville. And Tennessee lawmakers seek reinstatement after legislative leaders vote to expel them.
And awesome weather continues across the region for much of the week, but we are tracking rain chances by Friday. All those details coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, Louisville Metro Police say 4 people are dead and at least 9 others wounded after a shooting this morning at a downtown Louisville bank. Officers say the shooter is also dead, killed by police. Police say it started sometime just before 8:30 this morning at Old National Bank on Main Street.
5 people have been confirmed to have been killed inside. At least 6 were transported to University of Louisville Hospital, including 1 officer with various injuries.
Now, that 5th person that was killed was the shooter. So there's 4 victims and the shooter. And now the latest number is 9 injured in this shooting. Witnesses who were near where this happened described the terrifying scene.
We have a break room, and I got in there and shut the door for a second. And then I was looking around, I opened the door to see where he was at, and I could see him still shooting. I didn't see his face. And then I took off running out the front door. An assault rifle, and we heard a click, and the lady next to me turned around and said, "What the hell?" And then he just started shooting.
Obviously a terrifying scene there this morning. Governor Andy Beshear spoke at 2 news conferences today, including one you just saw a few minutes ago here on WYMT. At the first news conference, he was under the impression that he had lost 2 close friends during that shooting, but in between news conferences, he figured out that one was actually alive and well, but he did lose one very close friend. We learned a lot of new information in that news conference that happened just about 30 minutes ago. The name of the suspect is 23-year-old Connor Sturgeon. He was an employee at the bank. He used a rifle and was shot by police. We also learned he was live streaming this as well. The victims' names, the ones who were killed, were released. 63-year-old Tommy Elliott, that is the man that the governor knew personally, described him as a very close friend. 64-year-old Jim Tutt, 40-year-old Josh Barrick, and 57-year-old Juliana Farmer, all killed in this shooting. 9 people were treated at the hospital. 3 have already been released, but 3 are in critical condition, and that includes Officer Nicholas Witt. He and another officer were injured, one just grazed by a bullet, but Officer Witt is in critical condition. He was shot in the head. He's already undergone a surgery, and hopefully he pulls through. They said he's stable but still in critical condition. And again, he was shot in the head, and we learned he was just recently sworn in as a police officer there in Louisville. Of course, a lot of information just coming out in the last few moments. We will continue our coverage of the mass shooting in downtown Louisville as we go throughout the evening. Law enforcement agencies here in eastern Kentucky are offering their condolences to police in Louisville after this mass shooting. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Department was the first, we're told, to send police vehicles to Floyd County after the Allen ambush last summer. Floyd County Sheriff John Hunt says the Louisville shooting has left them heartbroken.
You know, to see the headlines or first read our text message that came through to us was about the 2 Louisville MPD officers that was injured, and man, that just hit a certain part of our gut. You know, from not long ago did we experience that. So that had some emotions with us, and we just couldn't help but feel sorry for everybody involved, and our hearts are broke for all of them.
Sheriff Hunt says he was called to action in Louisville a few times while on duty at Kentucky State Police Post 4. We'll have more reaction from Floyd County coming up tonight at 6.
Well, the weather is fantastic as we kick off the new work week. We're looking at plenty of sunshine and blue sky at our location at Buffalo Mountain. Looking at plenty of sunshine back in the distance. Current temperature 70 degrees on this Monday afternoon. Very, very nice to kick off our Monday. Up on radar, a clean sweep, all thanks to high pressure that's really parked over the region right now. And that high pressure is going to set the stage for some clear and calm conditions for really much of the week ahead. Current temperatures upper 60s, lower 70s, 71 for Jackson, 72 in Manchester, 68 for Somerset and London, and 69 over in Pikeville. Temperatures will continue to stay very comfortable as we go into this evening, falling off into those 50s later on tonight. We stay dry under a clear sky, but we are watching out for some above average temperatures to return and also some rain chances by Friday and also into the weekend. So be sure to enjoy the quiet weather while you can. Your full first alert forecast coming up in just a little bit. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. 2 expelled Tennessee lawmakers are fighting to get their jobs back. The General Assembly held votes to expel the 2 black men and 1 white woman for their roles in a gun reform protest. Only the woman kept her position. Their Republican peers accused all 3 of disrupting the legislative session. 2 of the lawmakers went on Meet the Press over the weekend and spoke about the matter following a fiery speech from Vice President Kamala Harris at Fisk University last week.
A democracy says you don't silence the people. You do not stifle the people. You don't turn off their microphones when they are speaking about the importance of life and liberty.
The expelled Tennessee lawmakers represented Nashville and Memphis. This week, both cities could choose to reappoint the men temporarily. They would then face special elections. China has launched a new round of military exercises aimed at Taiwan. Dozens of warplanes buzzed Taiwan's airspace, simulating a potential attack to seize the island. It follows a visit by Taiwan's president to the U.S., where she met with congressional leaders. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer has reaction from Taiwan.
In Taipei, Taiwan's capital and a city of 2.6 million people, it was a run-of-the-mill Monday morning rush hour. Even though Chinese warships, including for the first time the aircraft carrier Shandong, were offshore conducting military exercises, and Chinese fighter jets had flown into airspace claimed by Taiwan. But these drills were too far away to be seen from the island, so to make the point that this is a rehearsal for war, China released video and an animation of island targets on its hit list. But none of it seemed to faze the Taiwanese, taking a break on Taipei's network of cycle trails. After all, says Diana Lee, Chinese threats have waxed and waned for decades.
We live our life. We also have other challenges to face.
But these are unusually tense times, with 2 superpowers facing off. President Xi Jinping has said he will use force if necessary to take over Taiwan. And the U.S. is signaling more explicitly that it would come to Taiwan's defense. Meanwhile, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen was in the U.S. openly calling for independence. And to Jolie Pan, that's playing with fire.
It makes you worry that that will provoke China into attacking.
Yes.
Yeah.
The current Chinese exercises in the skies and on the sea are due to finish today. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Taipei.
Well, to everyone's relief, this round was just practice, but there is a real potential for war over Taiwan. Though it is a good sign, all sides insist they don't want it. Russia and Ukraine swapped prisoners of war today. Russia's defense ministry says that 106 Russian servicemen who had been held captive were returned from Kyiv-controlled territory today. The servicemen will be flown to Moscow and provided with medical and psychological assistance. Coming up on First at 4, a ribbon-cutting ceremony at a facility that promotes rural health. We'll explain.
Plus, we are tracking sunshine and warmer temperatures across the region. That full first alert forecast coming up.